Matthew, this is Matthew 26 and verse 18. And he said, Go into the city to such a man and say unto him, The master said, My time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples. Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect. There will be guys that will betray you. There will be guys that are amongst the body, that's doing the work, that's calling on the names, that's going to betray you. That's not really sincere. Guys that are agents. Guys that's going to give up the plow at the last moment because losing faith. Being in the times that we're coming into. And I'm going to get that reading down, which we know the greatest example is Judas the Iscariot. All right, so this is Matthew 26, verse 18. And he said, Go into the city to such a man and say unto him, The master said, My time is at hand. I will keep the Passover at thy house with my disciples. All right, so YAHAWASHI, this is him speaking. And he knew what time that awaited for him. He already knew what he had to go through. So he said he's going to keep his Passover with his disciples. The Passover being a very serious time. And the disciples did as YAHAWASHI had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. Okay. Verse 20. Now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. And they did eat. He said, Verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. So you got to imagine how scary this was. YAHAWASHI already knowing that one of them was going to betray him. He already knowing who it was, but you got to look into the perspective of the disciples. Because they like, what? Betray the Son of Man? You know, they're in fear. Which is a very fearful thing. The Lord knowing who's going to do it. And you being a disciple, like, that's something shocking to hear. That a brother that's been amongst you the whole time, the whole walk, doing miracles, having the spiritual powers, all of that, doing miracles, seeing the miracles, is going to betray the Lord. And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? All right. So they wasn't even sure themselves. They like, am I going to be the one to do it? Was it me? And he answered and said, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. All right, so the Lord is calling them out. He's saying, He that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, that's going to be the one. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him, but woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born. So it's better for you to not even be born than to betray the Lord. And this happened then in the past. It's going to very well happen now. I best believe. Don't be surprised. Because it's a lot of guys in here that's in it for filthy lucre. That's not really rooted in the faith. And that are agents. All right? It can be, you know. You gotta think, Judas Iscariot, he had the spiritual powers, man. Even though all this was set up, it was set up for it to happen. But the scriptures aforetime were written for our learning. So best believe the same thing is going to happen. The servant not greater than his master. Verse 25, then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? Yes, it's you. He said unto him, Thou hast said. And as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, Take, eat. This is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which shed for many for the remission of sins. All right. And I'm gonna get to the point. Matthew 27, verse 1. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yahushua to put him to death. And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate the governor. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver. So he traded the Lord for 30 pieces of silver. And that's something a nigga would do. 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders. All right. Saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. So he did all that just to regret it and feel guilty and go back and put his own self to death, you know. Which shows you, that instant gratification isn't worth it. He sold our Lord out for 30 pieces of silver. He had it at the moment. He was happy. And then he realized he messed up. All right? And it's going to happen once, shit hits the fan and all people luxuries are cut short. Their everyday needs, your food. Once the Lord puts a spirit on these devils to cut all of that, and you need this MOTB to survive, and the prophets are being slandered in the media and deemed as terrorists, these, don't be surprised. A lot of these guys, right? I ain't gonna say a lot. I don't know how many, but it's bound to be some agents and some guys that's gonna give brothers up. But is it gonna be worth it though? No, it's not. Because ultimately you're gonna get destroyed. All right. Let me get Matthew. I'm going to end it on Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And that's including enduring through the hour of temptation, wherein the whole world going to be tried. But the Lord, only the prophets of the Lord, the elect, Lord willing, we are that number, the 144,000, is not going to submit and take the MOTB, you know. He that endured it to the end, even if you set up to be a martyr, ultimately you're going to be saved. So now it's not the time to turn your back on the plow. We in a season where our works, our labors matters. Doing the work of the Lord. All right. But once those doors of mercy close, once that test come, you know, your faith in YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, your faith and enduring it to the end, you know, that's what's going to get you saved. And ultimately, if the Lord is dealing with you. So, a true man of the Lord will not sell another brother out. All right. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Kind of did this off the dome, but Lord willing, this was edifying. Giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakwadash. I am Taza Yahweh Gabar. All right. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. I'm going to say shalom.